Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I'm going to be talking about 6th edition and why we're talking about 6th edition now. All right, so first I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who's been commenting on these 6th edition videos. I really love the comments I'm starting to get. There's a lot of comments where people are leaving long, intricate, really well-crafted comments that really disagree with me, either a good bit or completely. And I absolutely love that. I one of my favorite dudes in the world is Malcolm Gladwell, and he's like the master of intellectual disagreement. And I just really like, I think it's awesome to intellectually disagree about things. It means we're intellectually sparring. That's okay. And there's a lot of and everybody's being courteous. It's really cool. I really appreciate all the comments, and I really am wonderfully surprised and delighted that there are other people who are thinking about Dungeons & Dragons 6th edition as well. All right, so why are we talking about Dungeons & Dragons 6th edition today? All right, so the reason why is I got a great comment from one of my commenters. They were like, "What are you talking? 5th edition is long in the tooth. 5th edition is long in the tooth." And they're like, "We don't need another edition. The current edition should last for 10 years." All right. So this is what I want to address today. Why are we talking about 6th edition now when there are people who believe 6th edition could last for 10 years and we're only 4 years in? Shouldn't we just not talk about 6th edition for 4 more years and then talk about it then? Well, no, that's incorrect. We should be talking about it now, and here's why. What the community needs doesn't matter one iota, right? And the reason why is the decision for when a new edition is going to occur is not going to happen from Wizards of the Coast. It's not going to happen from Mike Mearls. It's not going to happen from the CEO of Wizards of the Coast or the top brass on Dungeons & Dragons. It's going to happen from a Hasbro suit, okay? And here, 9 jets out of 10, this is how it's going to happen. Mike Mearls is going to take his idea for, or one of the people that works for him, idea for Escape from Zarbalbarg's Tunnels, right? Which is their next new adventure. And it's an adventure just like they've been doing all these other adventures, right? And he's going to say, hey, I need a budget to, for writers and artists and layout people to create this new game, right? And and that Hasbro to create this new adventure for Dungeons and Dragons, and that that Hasbro suit is going to go Dungeons and Dragons. Oh well, what are we going to release it on? PlayStation 4 or PlayStation X? And Mike Mearls is going to go, oh well, Dungeons and Dragons really isn't a video game, sir or madam, lady, miss, right? It's a tabletop role. What? We still print books? Right? I'm telling you, man, this is how it's going to go down, right? And after Mike Mearls explains to this very, very nice lady that, lady executive that, Dungeons and Dragons is still printed on paper and books, and rebuffs the idea of making it a video game, then that Hasbro suit is going to say, okay, all right, so you're asking for, $300,000 here or $500,000 to make this. What are your sales going to be, right? And he's going to go, oh, 50 to 75,000 copies for this adventure. Now, that's completely my guess on what they're moving, based on what Marvel moves for comic books and their current momentum, right? We really don't know those numbers. I would love to know those numbers. Nobody really knows them except Wizards of the Coast, and they're not making them public, which is cool. I totally get that. There's no reason they need to make all that stuff public. It would alleviate my curiosity, but that's not Mike Mearls' first concern. He's fine, all right? So anyway, so at this point, he said, and that nice lady executive is going to go, 50 to 75,000 units. What? I want 1 million copies sold, right? When was the last time you sold 1 million copies, right? And he's going to go, well, I don't know if we sold 1 million copies, but we sold hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of copies, approaching millions of copies maybe, back when 5th edition came out. the core rule books. Oh, we'll just make a new edition. Boom, done. There's your new edition. That's how it's going to happen. I'm telling you, right? And the reason why is like Hasbro's a big international company, right? They have shiny, beautiful people who are executives because they're shiny, beautiful people, and they're going to make decisions the way they want to make decisions. So WotC and Mike Mearls, in my opinion, have virtually zero input on when a new edition is going to happen, right? It's going to happen when a new Hasbro suit says it's going to happen, right? And when that hammer drops, right, they need to be ready, right? And that is why, in my opinion, I believe that design work on 6th edition has already happened, right? And Wizards of the Coast, Mike Mearls and Dungeons & Dragons, they're not going to tell anybody that work on 6th edition happened until the very last minute, because it scares people. It scares people deeply, right? And it should, right? New editions are scary and exciting, a lot can happen, right? A lot of good and a lot of bad, right? And so that's the issue is, so when I am talking about 6th edition and I'm saying, let's get ready. Let's know what's going to be in 6th edition. Let's know what's not going to be in 6th edition. Here's what I think should be in 6th edition. Here's what I think should not be in 6th edition. The other thing I want to say, just to be clear, right? I just got a little scrub channel. I do, right? I got a scrub channel. But one of the reasons why I talk about this is a while ago, someone within the tabletop role-playing game industry reached out to me and said, hey, I watched my videos about my career, right? And that person is close to people who are directly on the Dungeons & Dragons design team. So my content, right, it swirls around in the morass of the cloud, right? And it's going to be talked about at conventions. Not a lot. Maybe a small conversation between 2 or 3 people, right? But every single one of us, we have a voice of what goes into 6th edition and what doesn't. And we should be having those conversations now, because when that exec says, I want Dungeons & Dragons 6th edition on my desk in 24 months, if they're lucky, it might be 12 months, right? Then I want my content there ready for the person that's going to do that research to see what the community wants. And everybody out there, you should be doing the same. If you want something in Dungeons & Dragons 6th edition, you should say it now and make it public, right? And it can be on the tiniest little blog in the most remote stretch of the internet. And the reason why is pile, not file, right? We live in a day of search, right? And so, when we make something public and people are conversating on the internet, that is what is going to be used to create the next edition. It's not going to be the entire foundation, but it's certainly going to be an element, right? And so that's my point is, low reach, high influence. We really need to be making sure that Wizards of the Coast knows what we want in 6th edition and what we don't want in 6th edition. And every time one of you guys, one of you wonderful people out there, comments on my videos and says, I think you're wrong, I think it should be this, that is setting a record for Wizards of the Coast to have that ready when the new edition is requested, right? And so that's important. It's really important. And I truly, really wonderfully, really appreciate the discourse and the dialogue that occurs on these videos. It's really invaluable to me. And I really, really wonderfully love just talking about Dungeons & Dragons 6th edition with everybody out there, and that there are people who take the time to listen and are curious and wonderfully excited about what's going to happen in Dungeons & Dragons 6th edition. Have a fantastic day, everyone. And if you would, please consider liking and subscribing. Take care.